Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crypto Hipster Podcast. This is your host, the Crypto Hipster, Jamil Hassan, where I bring you founders, entrepreneurs, executives, thought leaders in crypto and blockchain all around the world. And I have an amazing guest today. He is the CEO of Aurora Labs. His name is Alex Shevchenko. Alex, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me here.
You're very welcome. To kick things off, I'll ask you the first question is this, what is your background and is it a logical background for what you're doing now?
Um, I'm a tech guy. I have a super technical education. I actually finished PhD in applied physics and mathematics back in 2015. It was about computer modeling. I was calculating my simulations on the biggest computers in the world. So the transition into the blockchain was pretty similar because these pretty big computations, they involve many different computers working at the same time on the same problem, which is exactly the definition of what blockchain is doing. So in 15, I transitioned into the blockchain. Since then, it occupies um, my head 100% of the time. Started my journey with the project that is called Xonum, one of the first crypto projects that was developed in the Rust programming language back inside of the software department of European unicorn Bitfury. And after that, once I became a free agent, I transitioned into Near as a product manager with the focus on the Ethereum direction. And after short cooperation, we decided with Ilya, the founder of Near, that it would be wise to kind of spin off Aurora in a separate organization. So yeah, that's my path in crypto, and this is how I end up in this position.
Excellent. So I want to find out what Aurora is all about. How does it work? You're a tech guy, so give me some details. Let me know. Thanks.
Sure. So Aurora is a platform for Web3 developers to build pioneer and scalable dApps. The way how it works is that it takes the best of two worlds, the EVM compatibility and all of the tools and experiences developed inside of the Ethereum ecosystem. And then it takes from Near protocol the fast engine, I would say, that powers it, the new version of the consensus algorithm that is able to scale. So we're kind of merging these two things together and given an opportunity for Ethereum applications to work faster. EVM compatibility is not the only thing that we are focusing on. We want to differentiate, obviously, and our focus is better user experience. We would like to create a platform that is convenient to work with. That's why we are focusing a lot on making it convenient for businesses, and that's why we've launched Aurora Cloud, and also for users. And for them, we have some additional products like Aurora Pass, Aurora Plus, and some other things. So besides that, we have some infrastructure projects that we are working on. Rainbow Bridge, the trustless and permissionless generic bridge in between Near and Ethereum, is also maintained and developed by our company.
So I was looking at. Well, I have a follow up on that. A lot of these L1s, level one blockchains, you hear about them in silos. You never hear about them being combined or merged or working together. How are you finding that experience of blending them together working out?
Yeah, I think that in general there is no point for Web3 to be disjointed. Um, what we need to do is actually unite and try to fight against the more centralized Web2 approach, I would say. Just because we are pretty small, all Web3 industry combined costs less than half of Apple. So kind of, um, yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. This is exactly about us. I don't see that we need to fight against each other and say that others are doing something wrong. Instead, let's unite. Let's take best things from all of the ecosystems, and let's move forward. Let's experiment, fail sometimes, but let's move it faster and further than Web2 companies are able to do it.
Great. So you call it the Rainbow Bridge, right? Whatever. When I first saw that, I was thinking Kermit the Frog and Rainbow Connection, where you bring together the lovers, the dreamers, and me, right? How do you make that seamless Web3 user experience? Do what Kermit's talking about, through your Rainbow Bridge, and how does that differ and is better from what we have now?
Yeah, so Rainbow Bridge in general is something that should exist in order for the existing Web3 ecosystem to be able to work with Aurora. I was saying that we are merging the best of two worlds from Near and from Ethereum. How to enable these people from Near and Ethereum to use this thing that we're developing, right? We need to give an opportunity for them to connect to this particular solution, to connect to Aurora. And by saying connecting in Web3 means that we need to enable the transfer of assets, transfer of value, transfer of governance powers, transfer of messages to Aurora. So, and that's why we've developed this Rainbow Bridge. It it gives an opportunity to transfer literally any information, including tokens, fungible tokens, NFTs, and just generic messages from Ethereum and Near to Aurora and backwards. So that's kind of the core of the core tech that enables this interconnected multi-chain world.
Got it. Okay. So, and that is an improvement from Web 2. What else is the improvement from Web 2? Because you mentioned Apple, you mentioned Amazon and Facebook. What are they all missing that we can now provide in the Web 3 environment, especially using your protocol, right? That does not exist today.
Yeah. So I think that there are quite a lot of good things that Web2 developed, and they are absolutely killers in terms of the product management and product development in general. Their user experience is just tremendous. However, all of the threat models, all of the approaches for developing software, they put the company in the center of relationship with their clients. In case company is compromised or is unwilling to behave properly, then these companies are able to ban and delete accounts of these users who are not performing according to the standards of the company. Or they are, because of the mismanagement, the personal data of the users may leak, including all of the passwords that are stored in this company, right? So these approaches, centralized approaches, this is something that is uh, kind of the root of the problems that exist right now. Blockchain is trying to solve this problem and is trying to give an opportunity for users to self-host their data and own things, their values, right? Um, uh, I cannot say that this is an extremely simple path forward. So there are lots of things that we need to learn and kind of develop for users to be comfortable with this. However, I'm 100% sure that this is an absolutely correct way for the humanity to develop in general. Obviously, this is picking with me a little bit more or kind of faster since I'm Ukrainian and back in 90s I was seeing after the split of the Soviet Union into independent states. I saw that the government is corrupt and I would like to have my governance power in my hands. So that's why it is maybe it's not maybe that not that simple to understand the necessity and the importance of this for people from the Western countries, more successful countries, and more transparent countries. But yeah, I think that eventually we need to put people first, and then on the second place, very far behind corporations.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Ukraine now. So, and you were said you're from Ukraine, and I wrote a book and I published it in October this past year, 2022, called "Old Paradigms Die Hard." And what it was a series of podcast interviews that I had with people in Ukraine. Some were under the rubble, some were building, on the front lines. One was Alex Borniakov, who is your financial minister, who's building a state and a smartphone. I want to talk about that. How does Aurora help with Ukraine to build that financial sovereign state? If you don't work directly with Ukraine right now, how do you see it playing out so that people can have this sovereign financial state in their smartphone, in their hands?
Thanks for this question. So, for me, as Ukrainian, as a patriot, it is super important to give an opportunity for Ukraine to use all of the tech that we are creating. Since I started, this project Exonome, we were integrating it 2 times with the Ukrainian government. One time was for a very special auction system, a governmental auction system for confiscated goods. What government does, they confiscate something and they sell, and they are able to get some money out of this. So we have the system that is called Prozoro, which is transparent in Ukrainian. They wanted to be super transparent. They wanted all of the auctions to be audited. They wanted their users and their customers to trust the auction system. So they were willing to integrate a blockchain, and then the solution, custom solution on top of Exonum, was developed there. And there was an additional solution that was connected with procurement, also state procurements based on the blockchain. With Aurora, unfortunately, at the moment, obviously, Ukraine needs to take care of very different questions. We have been helping with humanitarian needs as a company, and donating quite a lot of money as a company to, for example, Unchained Fund, the fund that was organized around New York ecosystem. And obviously, as an individual, I was donating quite a lot of money, six-figure numbers in US dollars, just to support people that I know that are fighting in the front lines, and make sure that they have ammo, that they have armor, and vehicles and so on. For me personally, the situation around Ukraine right now is very sorrowful. I was not having any plans of moving outside of my country. I wanted to live there. I wanted to build it together with my wife and with my school teachers. We wanted to build better educational system once I'm going to finish my work in crypto. But unfortunately, right now it is not the time for doing this. So all of the Ukrainians and hopefully people who are willing and wanting to help Ukraine, like we need to focus right now on the things that are important right now. I hope that once the war would be over, we would be able to contribute to the economical growth and social growth of the country. And every time when I'm showing people outside of Ukraine that we have this state application that is called DIA, which is kind of an acronym of the government and I, right? That's what is the acronym for it. And when I'm showing to them that I have all my documents there, including my foreign passports, state passports, the birth certificate of my kid, and all of the vaccination, COVID vaccinations, and stuff like that. And it is so convenient, and I'm able to actually have an appointment and choose the time for appointment if I need to meet someone from the government, um, someone from the authorities. Everyone is fascinated. Ukrainians are one of the best developers, one of the best engineers in the world. And I'm 100% sure that in case they would have time and calm situation around them, so they are able to focus on innovations and moving forward the world, they will do it, they will succeed, and the results of their work is going to be shared across all of the people in the world, not only the Ukrainians themselves. So pray for Ukraine, and I hope that everything is going to become better soon. In the same time, not 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 finishing the support and only trying to get more goods developed delivered to Ukraine.
I tell everybody I talk to who asks about Ukraine that Russia did not attack a weak nation. Russia attacked one of the most advanced technological nations on the planet. So in the title of my book is called Old Paradigms Die Hard because their thought process is very antiquated in the history. And I wanted to find out what you can tell the mainstream audience who doesn't understand you know how technically savvy, like, you guys are really advanced, and how does that help you in your development in your company? How can that help the country in the future? How can people get to that sovereign state as individuals?
That's a great question. So I think the core of the approach for moving masses to a sovereign state kind of paradigm is making sure that the sovereignty is is easy to understand for people, because the concept itself is not very simple. What does it mean, sovereignty, right? What does it mean that people need to control their governance powers? What does it mean that they need to be aware of what is happening with their data, right? It's an absolutely not simple thing. In case we're going to talk with a housewife, like an ordinary housewife, she will tell that, kind of, this is secondary for her, right? I think that in general, the kind of the situation in countries is pretty similar to this pretty famous pyramid of Maslow, when you need to fill in different requirements or different needs, right? You need to start with the basic needs, the security, food, all of these things. This is what Ukraine is working on right now. Then after these things are closed, you're able to go onto higher levels, when you can think about your goal in the life, or your goal in the life of a country, right? And kind of development, and as an individual, and things like that. So obviously it is super important to make sure that we are moving people, we prepare people for thinking about self-sovereignty, and we are filling in the gaps that are below this particular need. And then we would be able, in simple terms, show to them what does it mean, how this can be achieved, and then it will be simple for them to accept these ideas, start thinking about them, and also develop their own approach of implementation of these ideas in the real life.
I haven't asked this yet, but I'm going to, and I want to just get your take. Um, a lot of developers have left Ukraine right now temporarily, right? And they went to Turkey. So Turkey's becoming this, country with a lot of developers and technologically savvy. And then there was an earthquake. And some people think that earthquake was an MMP or MIP attack. And I question, like, I question if that's true or not. It was just consequent or subsequent or whatever, you know, unrelated. But I wanted to find out what your thoughts are on the advancement of technology outside of Ukraine based on the skills and abilities that you guys do have, and how that can help the region and Europe and the world.
Yeah, that's it is very bad from my point of view in general that that many people, many capable people, the ones that were not thinking of leaving Ukraine, unfortunately left. Um, and there is a big question: what is going to happen after the war would end? Are they going to stay in the countries where they immigrated? Or are they going to get back? So that's the the loss of the human capital is going to become uh, the next big tragedy for Ukraine after this particular war. This is unfortunately this is a consequence that the government is going to face, and it is extremely tough job for them to motivate people to get back and to make sure that they are going to be secure, because I will tell just a couple of things that are in my head. I'm a young father. I have a kid. He likes to walk, right? In case we are going to return the next day after the war ended, then we don't know. Um, like what we know is that there are tons of unexploded munitions in the soil, right? What does it mean? It means that I need to walk my kid on a leash and not and don't give him an ability to run around, right? And I will be always worried about this thing. It is going to be an extremely hard task for the state to say to to kind of prove to me that everything is secure, right? So yeah, and obviously, unfortunately, because of this, coming back to the question, lots of Ukrainians, lots of engineers are currently outside of Ukraine. They are contributing to other economies. Me personally, I'm still paying my taxes in Ukraine. I've reached the agreement with Portuguese government that's okay, that I'm paying taxes in Ukraine. I will try to maintain the status quo as far as possible. And yeah, but again, very big tragedy that is yet to come and yet to be realized.
How old is your child?
It's 2.5 years old.
Mine are a little older, 13 and 10. So, but as being a father, right, we must have a positive outlook for the future, right? So, and you wouldn't be in building and blockchain and crypto if you didn't, right? So, what do you see the world looking like in 5 years, 10 years? What's your vision for the future?
Yeah. So, well, 5 years from now, war in Ukraine already ended for many years, right? So this is something that I really looking forward, and yeah, I think Russia lost that war the next second once they started. Now what I see is also kind of merge of the Web 2 and Web 3 technologies together. I see it already right now that Web2 giants starting to utilize the concepts that are developed outside of Web2 industry. Have you seen that commercial from Apple when there is a person who is holding the iPhone just in front of the face, and then there is a saying, privacy, it's an iPhone. Like it is a bullshit, right? So privacy is not about iPhone, right? Privacy, well, obviously they have some technologies there, right? They have a security chip T2 chip that is deployed there, right? And then the user is hosting his own keys, so it isn't kind of non-custodial setup and things like that. But it's kind of it's not about privacy. It's about just modern cryptography approaches of thinking things. But privacy is the thesis that was developed by the crypto anarchists, 20 years ago. These were the pioneers of privacy solutions. These people valued a lot their privacy, and that's why they wanted to be anonymous. In Aurora, we have several people that are already in the privacy that are privacy activists for more than 20 years, and for example, they do not disclose their names, and everyone in Aurora knows Frank Brown and Jonathan Logan by these names, which are absolutely never ever, not even close to their real names. So, so yeah, that's it. And why is it happening? Well, because Web2 companies understand that there is this motion, that these ideas are becoming closer and closer to users, and that's why they would like to incorporate these ideas inside of their developments, though they are distorting them, right? Privacy from the blockchain side and decentralization, all of these questions there, it is absolutely not the same what Apple means, right? So, however, in 5 years from now, I see that this cooperation between Web2 and Web3 is going to become closer and closer. The dominance of the money power in the world is going to decrease because the education around money, how to use it, how to invest, is going to become more wide. You would not be needed to become an accredited investor to be able to invest. You can get $10 in your crypto wallet and you are already able to invest. We're going to go through hard times or of crypto scams, and we are going through these times. However, over time, people, there will be additional regulations developed, and people in general are going to become a little bit more educated how to work with their money. And uh, and what it means that the fenced VIP club of super wealthy people and their know-how of making money is going to become a public good. And then it is not going to be, they will still have money, yes, for sure. And you know that money attracts even more money. But now the ordinary people will have an opportunity to use the same approaches, and they will be able to earn money too, not only from their salaries, but also from their investment strategies and so on. And this is only DeFi, right? That's only one particular vertical that blockchain is disrupting and blockchain is revolutionizing, right? Yeah. I also don't see that blockchain is going to kill the banking system. It doesn't make sense. There are tons of experience that is earned already inside of the banking system, and this experience can and should be used in order to make sure that the blockchain products are properly developed. However, the core for sure should be changed, and become more auditable, transparent, and more suited for the world in 20th century, 21st century.
Okay, so that was really interesting. You said public good, right? So right now where I'm sitting, I'm like, I have all the talent in the world to be an executive, right? But I can't get in because I don't know somebody who is, right? So I'm not in that 1% club, right? That in the US, right? But you said instead of saying the 1% club was going to go away, you said it was going to become a public good. So how does it become that public good instead of going away?
Well, I mean, for ordinary people, it is extremely hard to understand all of these concepts of investments and managing their money. Because of this, uh, lots of great authors uh, becoming great. For example, Robert Kiyosaki with his super famous novel Rich Dad Poor Dad, that was read by millions, right? And because of this particular book, millions became a little bit better financially educated. There are tons of other books that are also picking up. And for example, one of the books that I'm reading right now is the book from 19. It is called Die with Zero, and it is about the concept of that there is no point in you saving money and then just dying and praying for better experiences in the future. But you also should invest in experiences right now. So I'm saying that um, this financial education, it should become a public good. People should like this. All of the tools that are required for this, they should be not farther, not farther than just a stretch of an arm of a person. Right? They need to get it really, really fast. And obviously, there are traditional kind of Web2 companies that uh, have been making it closer, like Robinhood. Right? However, blockchain and DeFi products, they're making it even simpler than Robinhood. Right? So and this is what I meant by saying it will become a public good. The access to the financial products will become simpler. It is not going to eliminate wealthy individuals from the world. They are going to exist. They're going to uh, continue doing their job. However, ordinary people will have an opportunity now without going through broker firms, without kind of complicated wealth management solutions, but rather they will be able to access these financial services much faster, much simpler, and through better interfaces, just because it is a much more competitive market that is created by the blockchain.
Got it. Awesome. Thank you. Um, yeah, this has been a great conversation. I probably talk to you for another hour or so, but I can't. So I'll bring you back sometime for a second conversation in the future. And I want to thank you very much for your time. It's been great. And I have one final question, and it's this: is how can people find out more information about you, about Aurora, and about what you do?
So simple, there are simple links. I'm pretty active in Twitter as any crypto person. That's kind of a medium for existence of. Alex Aurora Dev is my handle on Twitter. Aurora news and a little bit more about Aurora and our products can be found on the website aurora.dev. And our new releases, the ones around cloud and this topic of convenience of the blockchain, can be found on auroracloud.dev.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Jamil.